Today on Morning Drive, Patton Desire added his name to the record books last night in Hawaii, but find out how many extra holes it took to get it done.
How about that? Patton Desire wins the Sony Open.
But it was a 14-year-old Michelle Wie who left her mark on the Sony Open in 2004 when she teed it up with the men.
The 14-year-old trying to become the youngest to ever make a cut at a PGA Tour event.
We'll take you back to that historic round and give you a bold prediction for her season ahead. And the stars were out this weekend at the Diamond Resorts Invitational benefiting Florida Hospital for Children. We'll bring you the best moments you might have missed from the celebs.
If you have an opportunity to make people, smile a little bit, there's certainly nothing wrong with that.
And we'll be joined by the winner of the professional division to find out what you can learn from his experience down the stretch. Plus, this weekend marked the return of the big timer to professional golf. He'll be in studio to talk with our resident sports psychologist and share the lessons he learned, the adjustments he plans to make, and how his experience can help you with your next round. You don't want to miss all that and more on Morning Drive today, January 15th, 2018. Welcome inside Studio AP and a happy Martin Luther King Jr. Day to you. Damon Hack alongside a PGA Tour winner in Robert Dameron, who spent his weekend caddying at the Diamond Resorts Invitational for your good friend AJ Pierzynski, a World Series champ. Let's find out how Dameron did.
My caddy is terrible. Robert Dameron, your buddy on Morning Drive. Worst caddy in the league. Anyone out there, send applications to his Twitter, please.
Ouch, with friends like these.
Ow. Do you know how many applications I got to be his caddy on Twitter?
Zero.
Goose egg.
How do you think you did looping for AJ?
I did tremendous. I earned my 200% commission on his salary. He was awful. I thought when he putted so bad, like I wanted to play the Benny Hill music over his putting. Just everywhere running around. It was terrible. We did have fun. I'll just end it there.
All right. And all for a good cause. We're happy you're keeping your day job. Let's say good morning to Lauren Thompson. She was out there as well.
I was, and Dameron was one of those guys that was always saying hi and kind of throughout the morning was coming out there. So let's take you down to Tranquilo Golf Club and the Diamond Resorts Invitational benefiting Florida Hospital for Children, where Marty Fish walked away the winner of the Celebrity Flight. Now, the former tennis pro was the wire-to-wire leader in his division, putting up a final 75 points on the board in the modified Stableford format. He made it look easy, with the next in line on the leaderboard being a former NHL All-Star in Jeremy Roenick, 14 points back. Also not a bad week for the defending champion in Mark Mulder, who came in third. Now, other household names that are on that leaderboard. We're going to have the highlights from the celebs out there later. But for now, Damon, let's look at the players we follow week in, week out.
Absolutely, LT. It was a lot of fun to watch the best players in the world alongside the celebs. How about a major champ and a frequent Morning Drive guest, Brooke Henderson, for par on 18.
For par, I've said it a million times, special players do cool things on the last hole, even when it doesn't mean a lot. Make no mistake, she's a special player.
Tied for Steph. How about 52-year-old Scott Perrell for birdie on 17?
Never played on the PGA Tour, just some web.com, and cool as a cucumber there.
Needs just 1 point on 18 to win, but he's got to watch Mark Mulder first on 18.
Well, we got some mild choking about to begin, somewhere in this range here, starting with that shot right there, getting the whole series of events started.
That's the defending champ. In the celeb division, not a good shot. Now, how Scott Perrell has to follow that.
He just kind of ignores it, hopefully. I don't have to worry about that. He's more worried about that blue stuff left of the green. And that's nowhere near it. Very bad shot. Out in front and heavy.
Hit the green stuff, but not exactly where he wants to be. He would hit really an indifferent pitch shot, leaving this for par.
Indifferent is a nice way to put it. Actually, there's a little backstop long. He could have been aggressive and maybe even have it come back, but wasn't to be.
He's going on to make bogey, go off to a playoff against Scott Dunlap, who won the 2014 Boeing Classic. Here's the first playoff hole. They go back to 18T. Here's Scott Dunlap.
All right, remember that mild choking I mentioned a minute ago? It continues. Look at him. He looks like he's posing like he likes it, and that's not within 80 yards of the green. I mean, I like how he tried to sell it. like a catcher framing a pitch, but there was no strike there.
I was on that tee all week. It's a very tough shot. Now here's Scott Farrell cleaning up his par for the victory in the Diamond Resorts Invitational. A player who spent 10 years as a computer programmer, didn't turn pro till age 31, and he gets it done. We'll speak to Scott Farrell and Dr. Gio Valiante to talk about that choking, Robert Dameron, that you were talking about just moments ago. Let's send it back to LT.
Looking forward to hearing his thoughts. But now to Dan McCarthy, who leads the way at the Web.com Tour's Bahamas Great Exuma Classic at Sandals Emerald Bay. Now, the 32-year-old from Syracuse, New York, playing in a major medical category this season. He posted a clean-carded 6 under 66. Second round play that was suspended due to darkness at 5:32 p.m. local time, with half the field still on the golf course. Here's how it stands on the leaderboard. Play is going to resume today at 7:30 a.m. Eastern time, very, very soon, about 25 minutes from now. Also happening now, Patton Kizzire at Wailea Country Club in Honolulu. He walked away the winner after making par on the 6th playoff hole to defeat James Hahn at the Sony Open in Hawaii. Now, Kizzire, he entered the trailing Tom Hogue by a shot. And Damon Hack, Robert Dameron, show us how that tide turned.
Yeah, it was a long evening for those watching at home. Pat Kizzire, a winner already this season at Mayakoba. This is the par 4 10th, a pitch shot over a bunker.
And again, this is the 10th. He's just making the turn. He's playing all right, but a shot like this can make him change his whole attitude. Say, wait a minute, something really good might just happen now.
Eagle 2 got him to 17 under par at that point. Here's James Hahn, a 2-time PGA Tour winner, for birdie at 14.
He caught fire at this point of his round. At one point, he birdied 7 of 8 holes. That was one of those.
Got him to 16 under par at that point. Now James Hahn, the next hole, the 15th, his approach shot from 170 yards.
170 yards, and he is full in the zone at this moment in time. It's a beautiful iron shot.
Wow, to about a foot. And this is a swing, Robert, that a lot of players on tour appreciate.
Oh, yes, very much. It's a guy I played with a long time ago before anyone knew him on web.com, and I go, this guy is cannot miss. Unbelievably good.
Tom Hogue didn't miss a lot on the early part of his Sunday. This is the par 4 12th putting for birdie. You make that, get to 18 under par. We move ahead to the par 5 finishing hole. This is Patton Kizzire after really a mediocre pitch shot for birdie.
Yeah, and actually I think looked like he moved his head a little bit and kept that face open. Not his best effort, but didn't hit it way by either. Kept his chances to play off a lot.
Could have won the tournament outright. Here's Tom Hogue putting for birdie. He needs this for the playoff.
For the playoff, and he really had a kind of control of this, and doubled 16 derailed him.
So Hahn and Kizzire go back to 18 to draw for the numbers. Some laughs and giggles. You see the PGA Tour VP of Rules and Competition, Mark Russell, there with the Hawaii shirt tucked out. I love it. And here you go. So they have 5 playoff holes. They finally get to the 6th playoff hole. This is a par putt for James Hahn.
And no, he's got to make it. A lot of times, you got to make it. You hit it a little hard, not leave it short, and he hit it just through the break.
Opens the door for Pat Kizzire. He gets it done on the 6th playoff hole. His 2nd win this season. A final round 68, a sizzling final round 62 for James Hahn. You see Tom Hogue finish the shot back. Brian Harmon played very well in the Hawaiian swing, but disappointed to finish tied for 4th alongside the 2012 U.S. Open champ in Webb Simpson. But a very interesting playoff, Robert Dameron, between 2 players that now have 2 PGA Tour wins apiece. Patton Kizzire winning for the 2nd time. You talked about your long history with James Hahn.
James Hahn, I mentioned it during the highlights. I played golf with him a couple times on web.com, and when you play as much golf as I have for many years as I have, you see pretty much everyone come and go, and you can tell special players, before they're anyone. I knew certain players were special. Tiger Woods, we already knew him. I played with James Hahn, and I said, this guy can absolutely play. And he's incredibly good when he's good.
Okay.
He has these wins, and he's up there around the leaderboard, but then he disappears. He misses cuts, and he hangs out for a while. I'm not sure what that's about, but the talent is there, I promise you.
Yeah, we've seen him get the wins at Riviera and also at the Wells Fargo. How about for Patton Kizzire, someone who's a part of that Sea Island professional mafia, as it were, all kind of raised at the knee of Davis Love III. 2 wins in quick succession in 2017-18. What does that say about a player now ranked 8th in the United States Ryder Cup standings?
That's interesting to me, 8th in the Ryder Cup. Patton is a guy that plays well early. His rookie year, he finishes T2nd in his very first event and backs that up with a 4th the next week. Last year, second place alone in Safeway, his very first event, and then he went on to be very indifferent. 2 more top 10s, 14 missed cuts. He starts strong and then doesn't finish strong. 8th in the Ryder Cup. He's got a real reason to keep the pedal down now and change the tide of that trend. He needs to do that if he wants to be a Ryder Cupper.
How will he fit in with the likes of Justin Thomas and Jordan Spieth? We're kind of seeing the page turn into this new era of young players on the PGA Tour representing the U.S. in the International President's Cup and the Ryder Cup as well.
He fits that mold. Big man, an athletic guy, big hitter, a power game, much more than the days of before, but more important, he's a good guy that gets along, I know, with that core group of Ryder Cuppers, the Spieths, the Thomases that we're going to see for many years to come, and he's going to fit in just fine.
Very cool, very calm, and now a 2-time winner on the PGA Tour as we send it back to Lauren Thompson.
Thank you, Damon. Yeah, it was a busy Sunday in the game of golf. Almost impossible to pay attention to it all. So, in case you missed any of the star-studded action at the Diamond Resorts Invitational benefiting Florida Hospital for Children, we've got the top shots by your favorites in sports and entertainment. They're coming up soon right now on Morning Drive. Sadly, though, there could only be one winner in each of the 2 flights. Scott Perrell took the W in the pro ranks at Tranquilo Golf Club, while our own Charlie Reimer, he was out there on a ride of his own in his first competitive round of golf in over a decade. So we're going to bring in sports psychologist Dr. Gio Valiente. He's got quite a bit to say on what was occurring mentally for the winner and the big timer. Plus, while our nation continues to be inspired by the life of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. today, we also point the finger to something possibly not on your radar. It's all about hats, and there's a player who always makes this part of his getup. We're going to speak to Tapio Pulkkanen, the winner on the European Challenge Tour, and what he has up his sleeves for the Middle East swing. So, Damon, I hope you brought a little something to celebrate.
Oh, I did. I didn't even know about this National Hat Day until about 2 minutes ago. Explain your hat.
I was in a Village People cover band in the 80s, so this is left over. This is left over from those days.
So YMCA.
Yeah.
It's fun to stay at the...
It's not so fun.
Not so fun to stay there?
No. I prefer my house.
My hat's in Central Pay.
Oh.